What's up, y'all? Dontae Winslow, getting ready for New York City. This is a big week coming up. I would say one of the biggest weeks in my life. Brand new city, Winslowdynasty Into the Dynasty came out 2 days ago. It's number 3, and then it moved to number 2 on Amazon and iTunes. So we thank you for your support in buying the CD and spreading the news and telling people about it. I'm on tour with Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids with the 2020 Experience World Tour. We got a big week with Jimmy Fallon tonight, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Questlove and the Roots. We're doing that show. I'm doing a big CD release at the Iridium in New York City, February 18th. That's on Tuesday. And we're doing the Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row on the 19th and 20th of February. So this is a real big week professionally and personally. You know, it's Valentine's Day in 2 days, so go get that song, that baby making song. Y'all gonna get pregnant off this joint. Red Bells, Red Wine, and Red Lingerie. I love that song off the CD with the Miles Davis classic harmony mute sound on my trumpet, and Mashika singing with those sultry, sexy tones. You know, and the pauses. Lord John is on drums, Adam Blackstone on bass, and my main man Bishop, Justin Gilbert on the piano, just decorating it ever so lightly and softly. That's a good song for Valentine's Day. Spread it, spread the news, tell your friends, get your parents on it. You know, they would probably really enjoy a romantic evening with wine and candles and, you know, all of that stuff y'all like for February 14th. That's a good song as a gift. iTunes gift card. So it's a big week, and then my birthday is coming up, my wife's birthday, and our wedding anniversary. Oh my God, 14 years we've been married. And that's just like so overwhelming, you know. So many people get divorced nowadays, and I'm so blessed and lucky to have a woman that believes in me and who loves me, and my wife Mashika. You see her on the album cover. And man, she believed in me since she's known me. We used to perform together in Baltimore, and we have grown to become best friends and perform together and make music. And then, you know, I didn't even get engaged. I just said, you might as well be my wife. And we got married. And it's been amazing. It's a miracle. I didn't even want to be married. I didn't ask to be married. You know, I wanted to be a gigolo and run the streets like every other dude my age, my demographic, and from my neighborhood. But God saw it differently. So he blessed me with an amazing friend. And, oh man, I could go on and on about how much this woman means to me. I won't get to see you on Valentine's Day, Stinker, but I'm going to make it up to you, girl. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you next week. So, yeah, so it's amazing to be married 14 years. And so that's my biggest conquest, you know, to have a woman like that and have a son like Jedi. For me, that's way bigger than any musical accomplishment I can achieve. Being happy and healthy, sane in my mind, you know. I believe that my mother will be so proud of me now. I miss you, Mommy. And so I'm gonna take y'all back in time a little bit. Every time I come to New York City, I think about the first time I arrived in New York as a high school kid from the Baltimore School for the Arts. And, you know, tried to do well my first year. I was hanging with Roy Hargrove. He used to take me to all the clubs. And some of the musicians, well, my mentors like Gary Thomas and Whit Williams, they would take me around and let me sit in. But I really wasn't good enough to really get a gig at 18, like, you know, a precocious young Lee Morgan. I wasn't at that level at all. So I took a year off of school, and I went back to Baltimore and hung out with my friends. I played video games, you know. We had all the kind of wild parties and, you know, did some bad things and just had to try to get my life together. I took a year off of school, and basically, I mean, I felt like I was a failure at least. And I got a call from my Aunt Brenda, and she laid me out, man. She said some real crazy stuff to me like, man, you basically, you know, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're hanging out, and you're being a loser, but you used to do this and do that. You used to have a scholarship, you used to, you know, want to go to college and be an achiever. And I listened to her, and she, you know, I cried a little bit and thought like, wow, she really brought some things to light that sparked a change in me and made me want to change my life that day. I remember exactly where I was, you know, in my cousin Haji's living room on North Avenue. And I was living from house to house, sleeping on couches, and just wondering, like, God, what am I going to do with my life? Not wondering God, but wondering what I was going to do with my life. And I applied to Peabody Conservatory. I got in and took lessons there. Actually, Wayne Cameron, trumpet player teacher, he gave me lessons for 6 months for free and got me my trumpet skills back up to par. When I got into the school, I wound up achieving first trumpet in the Peabody Symphony Orchestra by the time I got to graduate level. And that was an amazing achievement because I thought I'd never be a trumpet player, based on my skill level at the time. I just kept practicing and kept playing. And, it's been an amazing journey from then to now. And, I'm on stage with the Grammy Awards and playing with world-class artists. And so just to see that, that time go by and see the perseverance pay off, it's just a miracle, nothing less than a miracle. So every time I come to New York, I'm reminded of that time when I first came and I was broke. And, if I had McDonald's French fries and it dropped on the street, I surely would pick it up and eat it. Because I'm like, I'm too hungry up here, It's like college scholarships was running out and, I'm living off the loans. I'm burning $5Gs a semester and, I'm not making any money. I'm living off banquet chicken in the oven. And, it was just crazy. Roy really looked out for me for that whole year. So when I come to New York now, it reminds me of that starving period in my life. And so I cry as soon as I land in New York because it set an indelible imprint in my mind of that struggle. And so when I land in New York, I'm just reminded of God's grace and goodness and His ability to redeem anyone who would trust and persevere. And with faith and work combined, miracles can happen. So next week, when I do New York with my CD release party, when we celebrate our anniversary, Mashika, my queen, when I'm on, there's a nice show with Jimmy Fallon, when we do the Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row, I'm just going to be in a mode of gratitude. So grateful for where I am now, and my birthday will be that weekend, turning 40. I'm in the prime of my life, my health, my strength. This is the best I've ever played the trumpet. I thank God for that because certain notes I thought I would never be able to hit, and I can do them now, and I practice for them. I used to pray. I said, God, give me a new note. Or God, please let me be able to do this, or let me be able to do that on the instrument. This seemed like years would pass and it wouldn't happen. Some people become very good when they're 13. Some people with 18. Some people in their 20s, and some people develop late. I think I'm a late developer, a late bloomer, I would say. There's nothing wrong with that because everybody has their time and their season. You just have to trust and not give up. My whole story is about not giving up. And I continue to share that with you. I'm going to go to New York in the subway station and play, maybe for some money or just play for fun. I remember I had to do that one time. I was starving one night, man. I went to the subway and was like, what can I do? So let me walk up to Times Square, 42nd Street, go down the subway like the musicians, used to do back in the day. And I went down there and tried to play. Now, the problem is I wasn't good enough to play long enough to be able to make a lot of money to eat. But I might have did it and made like $15, $20. And I knew that was all 2 days of food. $10 a day. You spread that joint out, $3 breakfast, $2 lunch. And the next day, $3 breakfast, $1 lunch. Lunch might be a bag of chips. And yeah, man, I played in the subway. So I'm going to play in the subway this week, but, it's going to be from a different place. It's going to be from a place of gratitude. And people don't know I'm going to play the Madison Square Garden at night, but I just want to do it and just, give the glory to God with my trumpet and let Him know I appreciate what He's done. Thanks for sharing with me. This is Dontae Winslow signing off. Go pick up that CD, Enter the Dynasty, featuring some amazing musicians. Chick Corea, Questlove, among them, Dennis Chambers, so many bad cats. Enter the Dynasty on iTunes and on Amazon. Love you.